Good afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome to our last meeting for March, and an oddly very sunny day after the Armageddon weather we were predicted last night. I'll take it. Makes it feel like spring really is here. It is great to see you all. If you're joining us virtually, please make sure you put your name in the chat. I'd like to first today invite Adam Cook up to the podium to read the four-way test and our land acknowledgement.
Thank you very much. So Adam Cook, Tacoma Venues and Events, happy to be here on the very rare occasion that I don't have a conference call or meeting on top of this, so I appreciate it greatly. But we acknowledge that our meeting today is taking place on the traditional homeland of the Puyallup people. We acknowledge that this land was not freely ceded to the settlers who claimed it. We recognize and honor the significance of this land and its waters to the Puyallup people who have lived on and stewarded this land for centuries and continue to do so today. And the four-way test. There we go. Of the things we think, say, or do, first,
is it the truth?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third, will it
Build goodwill and better friendships?
And fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And now, while Sharon's making her way up, I want to say thank you all for being here. You can now sit down. And it's time to hear our reflection.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Is that close enough? All right, for those of you that don't know me, I am Sharana Kildunn. I joined Rotary in August of this last year, and my day job is the Chief Philanthropy Officer for Tacoma Pierce County Habitat for Humanity. I'm a single mom with 2 beautiful children and 2 silly, fluffy orange cats. When I'm not working or with my family, you can probably find me in the forest on the trails at Point Defiance. So when Kathy asked if I would help out with the meeting, I said, of course, happy to help. Then she asked if I could do the reflection, and I said, yeah, I can do that. Well, over the last few weeks, even leading up to yesterday, I was really struggling. What do I bring to you all that would be thoughtful, inspiring, and maybe bring a smile to your face? So I looked up some of my favorite quotes from Martin Luther King Jr. Like, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I just love that one. It really speaks to my soul. But the reality is, over the last 3 months, as a nonprofit leader, it's been a whirlwind of emotions and uncertainties and changing political environment. I'm not trying to get political here. I'm just sharing that I'm feeling the emotional toll as a nonprofit leader, education leaders, and government staff. We're all kind of feeling the uncertainty of change right now. It is actually giving me flashbacks to March of 2020, when the world was put on lockdown, and it was hard to know what was real and what was crazy making. Yes, I know we're not there, but it was hard not to get pulled into the emotional drain of navigating yet another unprecedented and stressful time. So back then, it actually feels a little silly sharing this with you all, but the new Frozen 2 movie had just come out. And I have small kids, and I too am a Disney child, so I have to see every single Disney movie that comes out. Well, Frozen 2 actually had a very profound message when it came to uncertainty and even grief. Anna, one of the main characters, sings, "Just do the right thing," after her sister appears to have passed away. Well, at the time, in March 2020, I actually ended up writing that on my wall. Just do the next right thing. So that I could see that message on every Zoom call I was having and to navigate an unprecedented time. And today, that message still speaks to me. So even after that, feeling all this loss, I was still struggling with what to talk about today. And then I was invited by one of my new Rotary friends, Doug Johnson. Doug's here today. I wanted to say thank you again. To an event where Eric Bowles, former NFL player, now author, speaker, and executive coach, spoke. There, Eric shared an image of an acorn, and he asked the room, "What do you see?" Well, it was just an acorn. But he explained to us that that acorn represents potential. It has potential to become an oak tree. And that oak tree has the potential to produce thousands of acorns, which can become a forest. And that forest is really only successful because it works with other trees through the deep roots to survive the long winters and produce new acorns in the spring. This circle of potential, this illustration of the power of connectedness, this gave me hope and inspiration again. And it is a good reminder that we are all better when we work together, if we share our grief, anger, uncertainty, even our joy, our happiness, and our wisdom with one another authentically. This creates community and builds a sense of belonging. So my reflection today is really a reminder that we are not alone. That being in community fills my cup. That light is the only thing that will snuff out darkness. And when it feels overwhelming, just remember you are not alone and try to do the next right thing. Thank you.
Okay, Serena wins for the day with a great inspirational message. Now, we have some visiting Rotarians and members with guests today. Please stand, and Michelle Johnson is going to bring around the microphone. Visiting Rotarians, please tell us where you are from, and members, please introduce your guests.
Hi, I'm Jan Brazel, recently retired, and we have several guests here. We have Lee and John Gaines, who, John is a previous member, and we'd love to get him back with you. By the way, if you heard what Emily's up to, you want to get her back too. Talk to her afterwards. And then we have the mother of our esteemed award winner today. Her name is Sonia Aloa Forsum, and she's here as our guest as well.
Hello everyone, Emily at Tacoma Community College Foundation. I'm honored to have a guest, a prospect as well. Jennifer Ward is the ED for Rainier Scholars Tacoma.
Jim Winter, Director Emeritus of Lindquist Dental Clinic for Children. Stand up, Isabella. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce Isabella Meyer. She's visiting from Columbus, Ohio, surrogate granddaughter. You may remember her mother, Amelia Benitez, was a member of our club. Isabella is here visiting, and while she's here, she took a tour at the University of Washington in the biology department. She's planning to go to the University of Washington to become an anesthesiologist. And we asked about their grades and if she could get in, and she said, well, her adjusted grade point average, it slipped a little bit, but it is now resting at 5.6.
Is that on a 4-point scale? Incredible. Dan Worth, American Red Cross. It's my pleasure to introduce a guest who will be a guest for about the next 10 minutes until he'll be introduced as a new member of our club, Executive Director of Coach Sparks, Joe LeBoy.
Good. I'm Jim Merritt, architect, now a member of Lakewood Rotary. We still love you. I would also share that next week on Wednesday, April 2nd, would have been my 38th anniversary as a member of this club.
Yeah.
Plus 10 years of Rotary out at Fife Milk before that. So great many years.
All is well.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruth Nelson. Exchange student from Uganda, East Africa. Recently, I went to the spring formal dance at Stadium High School, which was really fun. And then we just wrapped up the rehearsals for Chicago the musical, and tonight is opening night. I'm hoping to see you all for the next 8 shows.
We didn't know that was a Chicago thing we were playing a second ago. And one thing I'll say real quickly, Ruth is in both casts of the show. So if you're buying tickets, it'll have blue and yellow, but she's in both. So you can get tickets to any of them.
It's lonely in YouTube today.
Nobody in the YouTube land. Okay. But thank you all for the visitors who are here, visitors and members of today. Thank you all for being here today. And now it's time to recognize the Rotarian anniversaries. We're going to start off with Frank Deckett, 37 years. If you are here, please stand up. Brian Elvins with 28 years. Dean Hanks with 26 years. And Carolyn Wyrick with 21 years. Did we have a new guest that snuck in? No, I saw somebody singing. I didn't see the word. All right. Now it's time for a little update on something that is 30 days away. Sharon Vinson, head on down.
Wow, we have 30 days to go. And I just want each of you to think about yourself and what you've done to participate in this year's event. Have you bought a raffle ticket? Have you bought your ticket to go to the event? There is a QR code that's available to go to the event. And we have limited seats. So buy your tickets. So make sure that you can be able to come. Have you procured an item to be auctioned off at the auction? Have you invited somebody to come with you to the auction? Secondly, we need to talk about what are you going to wear. The first rule is you must wear clothing. Nudity is not allowed. The theme is based on, obviously, our president, Chris's tenure as president is a theatrical theme. So it's red carpet, so you can dress to the nines if you'd like. You can dress as your favorite character from a movie, from a play, from your TV show. You can be denim and denims or pajamas and pearls, whatever you want to wear. We just want you there. So those are the most important things. But apparently, really, each and every one of you need to participate in some way to make our club have the money to be able to do the good things that we do. So reach down, reach deep into your pockets, your pins, and whatever, and sign up for something. Thank you.
That's 30 days, April 26th. All right, now our guest is not going to be guest much longer. Dan Worth, would you please head up here and please introduce us to our newest member.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce one of our newest members, our newest member to the Rotary Club, Joe Leroy. I'm sure many of you in the room already know Joe. He's been the man about town for many, many years. When I found out that Joe was going to be joining the club, I had the email, and I think I replied within a minute to David, and I said, can I introduce him? I want to introduce him. Because Joe has a great heart, is so compassionate and humble, and has been a great friend of mine over the last year that I've gotten to know Joe. So a little bit about him, and he sent this to me, and he said, Dan, this feels so uncomfortable. It's really pretentious, so don't read the whole thing. But I'll try not to embarrass you too much. Joe is the president and CEO of Hope Sparks Family Services, which is a nonprofit located here in Tacoma and Pierce County. He earned his Bachelor of Arts in Psychology in 2000 from the University of Montana. Go Grizz. Thank you. Fellow Grizz alumni as well. His Master of Social Work, MSW, in 2007 from the University of Washington, and recently started his MBA online at Western Governors University. He's been a licensed independent clinical social worker in the state of Washington since 2011. He owns and operates Navigate Wellness PLLC, a private counseling telehealth practice. He's dedicated his 27-year career to the nonprofit sector, brings a relentless passion and commitment to disrupting and improving systems of care for children and their families. Joe's work has primarily focused on the child welfare and mental health systems, and more recently on helping to build fully integrated pediatric healthcare in Washington State. Joe is married to his wife, Rainey, who is in her 22nd year of teaching high school science. They have one son named Joey, who is 16 years old. As a family, they enjoy traveling to new places, spending time outside, and hanging out with their two cats, Sushi and Miso. Joe has been a senior fellow with the Tacoma Pierce County American Leadership Forum since 2018, was honored as the Nonprofit Business Leader of the Year in 2023 by the University of Washington Milgard School of Business. And his personal mission statement, which is inspiring to me, is through storytelling and authentic connection, I believe that we can build diverse cross-sector relationships that serve the public good, that lead to effective and lasting change. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Joe Leroy.
Thanks, Dan. That was really nice. It's great to be here. First, I'm really sorry you had to lose Amy to get me. So I know Amy was a member of the club. She was very connected and enjoying her time. And so she has moved on from Hope Sparks, and we're very excited for her and her new endeavor. But I'm very excited to be here. I was a founding member of the Passport Rotary Club. That was my first time doing Rotary service, and I deeply enjoyed it. Fell in love with the work and the service and the fellowship. Our club unfortunately did not make it through the pandemic. And then I decided to take a little break from Rotary just to kind of regroup. And so it's nice to reconnect with Rotary. And I look forward to being in service and fellowship with all of you. And then just finally, this club has been incredibly supportive of our organization for many, many, many years. So I just want to say thank you for that. And we look forward to continuing our partnership with you. And it's an honor to be here. And those of you I know, it's great to see you. And those of you I don't, I look forward to getting to know you. So thank you very much for welcoming me today.
There's more! Joe, you now have your official badge with your new member, so please wear that proudly while you're at meetings. And then we have for Dan, sponsored pins. And for you, a Rotary pin, which we hope you will wear proudly out in the community while you're out and about. Who's wearing a pin today? Good. If you're not, you know what to do. You also have, wait, and there's more. One moment. Also, your official membership club certificate. Thank you. And Tacoma 8 is the 8th wonder of the world, being the 8th Rotary Club. So there is a book that tells you all about our history up to 2010. If you don't know Joe, you will love knowing Joe. That's all I got to say. All right, and now we're going to spread a little bit more love. We know the district conference is coming up when, everybody? 30th and 31st, and that is our district conference, which means it includes both ourselves and our Canadian friends to the north. We are going to send a little love letter to our Canadian friends to the north today, a little video inviting them and hoping that they will come join us today. So, Linda Kay, why don't you come up here since you are district royalty? In a day with royalty. We're going to do just a general message to really quickly say, hey, our Canadian friends in District 5020, we'd love to see you here at the district conference May 30th and 31st. We know things are a little interesting nowadays, but we hope that you'll feel welcomed and loved by all of us down here. And we can all say, we'll see you in May. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do the intro?
Yeah. Jeez.
I know it's a lot of pressure.
Sure.
Okay.
Do I have teeth? Sound with my teeth.
You're right. Okay. Let's start you off here. Let's start you off in front of our, we care about you.
They don't tell you about this in the interview, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Step this way. Step over to the side a little bit. Step out of the projector.
Move away from the light.
Go away from the light, Joanne. Step in a little bit.
A little bit.
Yep, okay. And then let me get a good angle. Okay. And then we'll turn to you guys all after she gets done talking.
And what are we gonna say?
We'll see you in May. In
How about in Tacoma?
In Tacoma.
Because that's where you're gonna be too.
Yes.
Is it we'll see you in Tacoma in May? Or we'll see you in May in Tacoma?
We'll see you in Tacoma in May.
And I think we should say with the mayor, and then the mayor. Yeah. Mayor, why don't you come with me right here? We'll do it together.
Come on there, whatever. And then we'll do a pan of the room and everybody wave while you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm just standing, I'm just gonna give a thumbs up to everything she says.
Okay. Okay.
I have arrived.
Quiet on the set. In 5, 4, 3.
Hello, our beautiful Canadian friends. We miss you, we love you, we hope you know our hearts are shared with you and all the wonderful work you're doing for Rotary. This is our mayor in Tacoma, and we are so excited about seeing you. Very excited, aren't we? Very excited. We can't wait for you to be here. Come on and join us. That's right, come to Tacoma. I have a few friends, they might agree with me.
We'll see you. Thank you all out. Talk about professionals. Thank you, Mayor Rhodes, thank you, Linda Kay. We've got professionals in the house, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, you might have noticed up here at the front table, we have some special guests with us today. It's time to meet them. This is our Daffodil Festival Court for this year, which is very exciting as we've seen the daffodils coming up all around town. And first, we would like to introduce Miss Congeniality from Washington High School. Please welcome Princess Giselle. Come on up, Princess. All right, come on down, Princess Giselle, to the front of the room. We promise it'll be painless, nothing terrible. All right, so we have some questions for our court here today. We'll start off with Princess Giselle, which you may not know this, but how did you get the title of Miss Congeniality?
Okay, hi guys. Miss Congeniality is actually chosen by your court. So the rest of the court, there's 23 of us in total. The other 20, well actually we all vote, but we all vote for someone to be Miss Congeniality, which means they're warm, welcoming, just friendly with everyone, good energy. And I got voted for by all of my court members.
Now, Princess Giselle, what school are you from?
I'm from Washington High School.
Yeah. And you're representing both schools, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, so our FP princess, Franklin Pierce High School princess, well, we don't have one this year. So we only have 2 high schools, and I'm from Washington, so I'm actually representing my district this year instead of just my school.
Now, one last question for you. What are your post-high school plans?
Thank you. So I actually got accepted into St. Martin's University and Pacific Lutheran University. So actually, I got accepted to both their nursing programs, and I'm planning to major in nursing at the end of the 4 years of college.
Big round of applause for Princess Giselle, everybody. All right, and next up we have our 88th Daffodil Festival Queen from Silas High School. Please welcome Queen Harmony. Now, I have to say I'm a little biased because I've had the pleasure for the last 4 years of directing Queen Harmony at Silas High School in Mamma Mia, The Addams Family, Mean Girls, and most recently Footloose just last month. So it's a delight to have her here today, as well as Princess Giselle. But Queen Harmony, how did it feel when your name was read to be the 88th Daffodil Queen?
Well, I'm still pretty shocked. I think I was shocked in the moment. And I just remember looking up and seeing my court surround me, and I just felt so surrounded by love, and I was just overwhelmed with joy in that moment. I'm just so proud to be representing the festival.
And Queen Harmony, you're obviously from Silas, so I
Yes.
already blew that surprise out there already.
Go right.
But what are your plans post-high school?
Yesterday, I committed to Washington State University. And I plan to study music education to become a pro music teacher.
And one last question for both of you, since you're both here, but tell us, when is the Daffodil Parade this year?
April 5th. We
April
start in
5th?
Tacoma, then we go to Puyallup, somewhere in Oregon.
So it's April 5th, mark your calendars, because that's an easy way to remember. It's 3 weeks before the auction on April 26th.
April 26th is actually our Junior Daffodil Parade on Proctor, and on April 13th is our Marine Parade that you can see on Rusting Way. So.
Excellent. So see the Junior Daffodil Parade on Saturday morning and come to the auction Saturday night. Congratulations, Queen Harmony and Princess Giselle. Have a fantastic year as you reign supreme. All right. We have a meeting sponsor today, and I would like to thank Cindy Grady for sponsoring our meeting today. And guess what? Because Cindy is so wonderful, she donated her time back to the meeting because we've got a very important program to have you all listen to. Not too long ago, we were taking nominations for the Community Service Award, and it is so amazingly wonderful that we get to welcome Kwame Amoa Forson as our Community Service Award recipient. Kwame is the founder of the Peace Bus, and he's known for managing humanitarian campaigns and promoting messages of peace through social media, community events, and keynote speeches. Now, before we hear from Kwame, I would like to invite Jan Brazel to the podium to speak about Kwame's impact on our community. Jan?
Okay, remember, you have to kiss the mic, and that's what I'll try to do. And I'm going to be very brief, because we're going to be honored by having Kwame do most of the speaking today, and I want to leave as much time as possible for him and for our esteemed Mayor, Victoria Williams. I want to take a moment to thank the Community Services Award Committee for selecting Kwame. If you were on that committee, please raise your hand. Emily, I know you were. Chris? Okay, there we are. Thank you very much. And I want to thank Carol Webster for being my co-conspirator in making this nomination. We do that a lot. And I also want to thank Kwame's mom, Sonia, for raising such an outstanding young man. And she's here today. I have to advance a slide. We've already done that? Okay. Stay there. All right. Who is Kwame Forson, Amoa Forson anyway? Well, he's an influencer, a humanitarian, and inspirational speaker from Tacoma. He seeks to make peaceful human progress by meeting vital community needs. Kwame was inspired by the late Israeli humanitarian Abby Nathan, who flew his plane from Tel Aviv to Cairo, Egypt, in the 1960s, calling for peace between the Arabs and Jews. Kwame founded the Peace Bus to take himself to the people in need. and to introduce others to humanitarian needs in Tacoma. Quabi's humanitarian work is now local, national, and international in scope, kind of like Rotary. I hope you can read some of these awards. Quabi's work, his wisdom and presence have earned him numerous and myriad awards, including Tacoma's, most recently Tacoma's Peace Prize.
Yes.
He was Tacoma's 2024 Peace Laureate. And got to travel all the way to Norway to be a part of the Nobel Peace Prize award festivities. So it's a big deal. Quabi is a beloved son of Tacoma, and we are honored today to have our esteemed mayor, Victoria Woodard, share a few words about Quabi's impact on our community.
Thank you, Jan, and thank all of you for welcoming me here today. When I signed in, when I came in, I go, oh, that's right, he said, you have a button. I go, oh my God, I still do have a button. So thank you for letting me still be a member. I'm gonna try to do better in my last year to show up, but next year I won't have much to do, so trust me, I'll be here every Thursday. But thank you all for choosing Quabi. I told the story for the first time just a couple months ago. That when I was running, I met this young man, and after I got elected, he was one of the first people I met with when I became mayor. And he told me about this dream that he had about peace and about spreading peace. And I thought, that's great. And, you know, a lot of people come and talk to you about what they want to do, and very few of them actually get there, right? And so I was, whatever I could do, let me know. And he just had this determination. And as I watched him over the last 7 years, now he has his bust, he's in a mural, he's gotten all of these awards. Let me be really clear to all of you, the person that I met in my office 7 years ago is the very same person who sits before us today. Someone who is humble, somebody who is serious about the word peace, and not just spreading it and telling others to do it, but someone who exemplifies what it means to spread peace. I am so honored that Quabi is a part of this community. And what he does just both locally and as he spreads nationally and internationally, Tacoma will always be his home. And I'm so proud that he wears that badge of being a Tacoman with such pride. But I'm also so proud of you, Quabi. I'm also so proud of the person that I've seen you become, but also the person that you've continued to be. That who you've become hasn't changed who you are. Yeah. And so I just, today, as I talk to all of you, but I just want to look at Quabi. Well, Quabi, before I look at you very quickly, Mom, thank you. He wouldn't be who he is. He wouldn't be who he is without what you instilled in him. So we are all grateful for you bringing him into the world. I don't know how you felt about him the first 18 years, but I guarantee that anything that you went through then disappears as you look at this young man who is before us today. Quabi, I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to call you a friend. I'm so, so grateful that you chose Tacoma to be your home and that you're doing your work here because our community is so much better because you're in it. Thank you so much. Plus, he got me out to Rotary again.
So will you be available for obituaries in a few years? Okay. I want to say it's time to hear from Quabi in his own words. And it's my pleasure to welcome him to the podium to share what he's up to. After that, President Chris will come and give the award, and you can react and respond at that point. So come on up, Quabi. I'll show you how to do it.
look absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Can you turn to the person next to you right now and say you look brilliant? I really do. You know, there was supposed to be a storm last night, right? And when they announced it, something special happened on my block. They announced that there was going to be a massive storm. We were going to see huge stones, hailstones. We were going to see a potential tornado, right? And what happened was, when I went outside to sort of get my Peace Bus prepared for this hail, this storm, I was putting cardboard on the Peace Bus to protect it from the hail. And my neighbor came over to help me put some cardboard on the Peace Bus. And I, in turn, helped her. And the neighbor across the street helped us. We helped them. And I went further up the street, and we helped each other make sure our vehicles were safe to prepare ourselves for the storm that may or may not have come. Now, my street's very diverse. There are people that live on my street that I don't agree with politically. There are people on my street that are white, that are black, that are Indian, that are Asian, that are Hispanic. And it was interesting to me to see that in the case of an emergency, we all came together.
Yes.
I believe that the emergency that can link our people together could be hunger, could be poverty, issues that transcend political landscapes, that transcend religious landscapes, racial landscapes, that if we come together to address it, we can diminish it. That's what I want to start out with. My name is Kwabia Moa Forson, and I'm a humanitarian from Tacoma, Washington. Yeah. I have the greatest job of all time because I use my platform to help people in need. I believe it's the most important thing. I believe it's what makes someone great. How can they utilize their skills to help people? I believe there's no other endeavor more important. And as I'm speaking, I want you guys to ask yourself, what are your skills? Because everyone has something, right? If you didn't have anything, you're just not alive. But we're here, we're present, right? Be thinking about what are your skills and how can you use that to help people that are struggling, people who are in need. I also just so happen to drive the greatest vehicle in the entire universe. Yeah. It's parked outside. It's called the Peace Bus. And the Peace Bus, it's this 1988 Mitsubishi van. It's really cool looking. I would say it's great, right? But though it looks cool, that's not what makes it great. Again, I use my vehicle to help people, and that's what makes the Peace Bus great. In fact, that's what makes anyone great. I always wasn't a humanitarian, right? I mean, I wasn't born helping people. Maybe I was, I don't know. My mom can attest for that. But I was inspired greatly through my upbringing. My mom, Sonia Amwa Forson, I was born in 1949 in the Deep South in Arkansas. And when growing up, she would tell me about the stories she experienced living in segregation. My mom went to an all-black school all the way to high school. I remember her telling me stories about how when she would go to the movie theater, she had to sit in the top because that was coloreds only. And she would tell me about the drinking fountains, colored only, right? And so whether I realized it or not, this ambition to bring people together was very deeply embedded in my soul, to understand that we were separated once. It was the norm to be separated. And consequently, through human progress, we work to come together.
Yes.
In this time now, we need this atmosphere, this sense of belonging to come together more than any time ever. And as I got older, I tried to seek this sense of how could I bring people together. And so when I was in grad school, I was struggling. I didn't really know why I was in school for business. I just found myself there. My mom has 2 master's degrees, so I decided I needed to get something. So while I was in grad school,
I did something that a lot of young people don't do that we need to do each and every day, and that's reaching out in the community for guidance. Everyone here can be a mentor to someone. They don't have to be related to you. They don't even have to live near you. You just have to be open and willing to have conversations with people who are coming up, people who are needing guidance. So I reached out to an old academic advisor of mine named Dr. Peter Bacho from the Evergreen State College Tacoma campus. And I told him I was struggling. So I went to talk to Dr. Bacho, told him about how I was struggling, and he told me to shut up. He said I was complaining too much. And, so I was like, okay, I'm complaining. Well, what do you think? What is your solution? He said, well, you need to ask yourself this one simple question, Kwame. Ask yourself, who do you want to be, and not what do you want to be? He said, you're a capable young man. You could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a nurse, right? I know you were trying to go into nursing. You could do any of those things, but think about what are the principles you want to embody as a human being first. He promised me everything would follow after if I asked myself that one simple question. So I took the man's advice, took about, I don't know, a weekend by myself and thought, who am I, right? And I thought out of anything in the entire world, the thing I love the absolute most is seeing different people from different walks of life, races, colors, and creeds coming together for something positive. You know what? That's Rotary.
Yes, it is.
So inspired by this idea of getting people together and helping other people, I started asking the question of what does peace mean? Because to me, that's what peace is. And I created these two posters. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so this is it. This is me in 2017 at Wright Park. I created two posters. One said love, peace, and justice for all. The other one says war is not the answer, say no to violence. And I go to the park on Saturday mornings, right? Talking to people. And they come up to me and they say, well, what do you sell it? I'm not selling anything. I'd like to have a conversation with you about the most important thing of peace. Because if you ask anyone on the street what they want in a life, peace is typically in the top three things. But we don't talk about it enough. Peace isn't in the news often. So I was having these conversations. People would come up to me and they say, well, is this religious? And I'm like, it could be. I don't know. It depends on you. So I'm having these conversations. I'm at Wright Park. And one Saturday, I was attacked at the park. Someone who was mentally ill saw me, I don't know, something triggered in their brain, and they tried to swing at me, but I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, so I blocked all the punches. And they ran off, right? And so the next Saturday, I go back out to the park, and I'm kind of paranoid, thinking that maybe this person's gonna come and get me. So I started walking around the park with my posters, talking to people. And then I walked around Tacoma. And then the next Saturday, I went to Seattle. Then I went to Vancouver, BC, and Portland. And this is me in San Francisco, talking to people about peace, having the most important conversation. And that's what led me to my best friend of all time. His name is Austin Duncan. And he invited me, he was stationed in the Netherlands. And he invited me to come to Europe to talk to people about peace. So I walked throughout Europe, going to different cities. This is Belgium, this is Brussels, Belgium, having conversations. A poster you don't see here is this poster I had, peace written in a bunch of different languages, so people would know at least what I'm talking about, right? And yeah, this is me with the Belgian military, talking with them about peace. Very, very enlightening conversations, the best conversations. And when I got back home, I thought, well, I've got all this knowledge about what peace means to people. What am I going to do with it, right? And that's when I discovered A.B. Nathan, and this gentleman who had a peace ship in the Mediterranean. This guy, A.B. Nathan, was world known for promoting peace. And so I created the Peace Bus as a way of promoting peace, just like Coca-Cola, right? We know Coca-Cola is everywhere. It's on trucks, it's online, it's on TV, and that's just a sugary drink. So how come we got to promote peace even more than that? Here's me with the Peace Bus. I'd like to say a few stories. I got a couple minutes left. I want to give a few stories because I believe that storytelling is the best way to convey information to people because it's honest and open. And the first campaign I ever did was a simple sock drive. And thank you so much for people who brought out socks today. You're gonna go to a good place. Thank you for that. My first campaign was a sock drive. And what's interesting is that currently I'm giving out socks to people in need. And recently, a couple of weeks ago, I'm driving my bus, it's late at night, and I'm headed home, and a homeless gentleman runs towards me. He's waving his arms, right? And so I stop the bus naturally, right? I hit the brakes, and I roll down the window. The man comes up to me, and he says, "Hey, I know you, you're Quavi, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Hey, do you have any socks on you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a few pairs." So I reach back, I give him a few pair of socks, I hand them to the man. In exchange, he gives me $3. And I'm like, I don't need $3, sir. I'm fine. Here, take your socks. He says, no. I know you help people. I want you to have these $3 so you can help someone else who's in need. Now, my first instinct was to say again, "Sir, I don't need your money." But I could see through his eyes he was earnest. He wanted me to have his last $3 to help someone in need. So I took his $3, he was happy, and he went off about his day. And I think if a person who's on the street struggling every day can give their last $3, what can we do? We can all do something. This is another video. I guess I didn't really match this up at the time, but what I'll do is I'll go through, oh, wow, that's a whole thing. Real briefly, in 2020, as you guys know, COVID hit. There was a lot of craziness going on. Businesses were closing down. People were out of work. So I thought, what could I do to bring up the spirits of the people of Tacoma? And I decided I was going to be Santa Claus for the city of Tacoma. And so I invited all the youth in the greater Tacoma area to send me letters about love and peace. And they could ask me for any gift whatsoever, as long as it was $50 and under, and I'd get it for them. And so that fall, I got hundreds of letters in the mail, read them all just like Santa Claus would do. And I was on Amazon day and night buying all these gifts. People donated to allow this initiative to happen. UW Tacoma actually helped me wrap all the gifts. And on Christmas Eve, I delivered over 150 families. I delivered gifts to over 150 families with the help of my friends. Traveled around the U.S. with the Peace Bus, giving out hundreds of books about love and peace. And if I can skip forward, yes, I received the Tacoma Peace Prize. Got to go to Norway. One thing I want to let you know about this prize is when I went to the Nobel Peace Prize and I was in this this hall where all the people congregate. Yes, there were celebrity folks. Yes, there were politicians. Yes, there were world leaders. But more importantly, there was everyday people that were utilizing their skills to help people. There were bricklayers and construction workers and teachers that were using their gifts to help people. And lastly, if I can keep on going here, let's see here. This is me in Africa. This is me with Jesse Jackson. That was wild. Me flying a plane. Peace Bus is going to be, I'm going to be getting a peace plane pretty soon. So, this is what I wanted to do. This is the most important thing. Okay, so over the last 3 years, I've teamed up with local restaurants here in Tacoma and Seattle so that in the summer months, on every single day of the week, there's a restaurant where youth can eat for absolutely free. In this way, we're working to put a huge dent in hunger. Right now, 1 in 6 children in Washington state experience hunger. And so we're working together, as well as the mayor has helped as well with this initiative. And we are working to diminish hunger in Tacoma. And I'm actually extending this campaign to Denver. I'm going to get on a flight tomorrow to Denver. And I was asked by Rotary, what can you guys do to help me? I'm a practical man with practical solutions to practical problems. Someone could actually help me with a drive to the airport tomorrow. That'd be great. My flight's at 2. And thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
We have a little bit of time for questions. If anybody has any questions for Quavi.
I'll take you to the airport.
That's what's up. Thank you very much. I'll take that, yeah.
I'm going to take privilege to just say, Quavi, thank you so much for determining who you are, and sharing that spirit with us. It's amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. How do you like collaborate with other peacemakers to do all of your donations and just like the all you can eat? I know you collaborate with like restaurants and such, but do you find other people as yourself to lead these types of just things?
Yeah, the initiatives. It's most important that we work together, that people who are like-minded for the betterment of all people work together. I believe that everyday people create the atmosphere for change, and the government and the politicians follow our lead. So if we're not mobilized and doing the work, how can we expect them to do what they need to do? So it starts with us. Yes, it's really important.
Hi, do you have a 501c3? Like, is there a way for people to make donations to you or to your
Yes.
bus?
So the Peace Bus has been functioning through as an LLC, but this year I'm going to get the 501c3 accreditation for the All You Can Eat campaign because that deserves to be expanded throughout the U.S. I don't see why the U.S. can't be a nation where children eat for free.
Come on.
We can do it. We started here in Tacoma and fed 3,000 youth in 2 months. It's insane. Yes.
And then, sorry, 2 other questions. Oh, no, just one. Will you bring your box back next week? Like, I totally missed the sock drive. I'll bring some socks.
Well, I will give you the address to my office. You can just drop them off there.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you again, and congratulations on a well-deserved award. My question is, how do we know when you're doing something that we may want to not just give money to, but actually get involved in it? How do we, is there a website that we should be bookmarking? And how are you getting the word out when you need help, to know that you come to a place like this, there's tons of people that want to be involved, and we can maybe help you with some of your activities?
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for that question. ThePeaceBus.org is the best way to know what I'm doing next. What I really need help with right now is linking up with restaurants that are willing to help eradicate hunger. And so if anyone knows any restaurants or any people, restaurant owners, I would love to be in contact with them. And every campaign is different. It's interesting being a humanitarian, we're sort of chasing the storm, if you will. So when something happens and people are in need, then that's when the gears start turning and the creativity juices start flowing to try to figure out how we can address the issue. So honestly, if you want to know when I'm going to be doing work, when something really bad happens, that's when you should turn to me, and then hopefully we can work together to create a solution.
Hi, Claudia.
Hey.
You embody so many principles that Rotary does. I wanted to share with the group. Claudia has done work with KBTC with literacy. Yep. He has spent time, 2 years, maybe 3, reading stories to kids in Richardson and in the Tacoma Housing Authority locations. And I just want to say thank you so much for all that you do. And to, again, share that you exemplify a lot of what people here in this room believe in. So thank you, and keep the good work going. And thanks, Mom. Yeah. Good job.
I did want to say something if that was the last question. Was that the last question? I want to dedicate this award to 2 people. I first want to dedicate this award to my mom. Without you, I would not be where I am today. It would be absolutely impossible. You've been my confidant, you've been my protector, and you've been my continuous support. And I love you for that. I love you otherwise, but I love you for that. And I also want to dedicate this award to my best friend who's not here today. Well, he's alive, but he's not here today. Austin Duncan, who I'm going to be seeing in Denver tomorrow, who's going to be helping me to go to different restaurants to pitch the All You Can Eat campaign.
Don't go anywhere yet, Bobby. Kwame, number one, on behalf of our Rotary Club, we'd like to present you with the official certificate. Recognize you as our Community Service Award winner for 2025. we have here a check for Push for Dreams, which is an organization that you wanted us to make that out to.
Yes.
For you to put in.
Yes, 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 yes. One more time, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the mom as well. So thank you so much, because I know I have a great mom, and I love good moms. Okay, we have some announcements. Next Thursday, April 3rd, Katie Arthur from the Pierce County Emergency Management will speak to us about emergency preparedness. You can register for that meeting online, so please make sure you do that. It's going to be a good one. We also have one community service project for tomorrow. It is the Tacoma Rescue Mission breakfast from 6 to 9. Remember, if you do want to sign up with that, you do need to register online and on our website as well for the Tacoma Rescue Mission. Tonight, we have a Thirsty Thursday, if you didn't hear or see that email. Cooper's on 26th and Pearl. It's a lot of fun to be there. If you haven't been there before, it's a great location. And I'll be there, and I hope I see you there. Who's coming? Who knows they're coming for sure so far? That's a start. Great. Let's see some more hands to be there. Wait, okay, good. Do I hear 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Oh, and I mean, they've got great drinks and appetizers, so you can't go wrong with that. We've got some special thank yous today. We want to thank the following individuals who helped make today's program and meeting so wonderful. Our award recipient, Claudia Moa-Forson. Cindy Grady, who was our meeting sponsor. Randy for technical support. Michelle for being our greeter and roving mic runner today. Adam Cook for the 4-way test and land acknowledgement. Joanna Gilman for being our reflection today, which was a great reflection. Sharon and Carol for being those wonderful auction people who are chairing that committee. Jim Henderson for being our story writer. And Princess Giselle and Queen Harmony. That is it. Go out and enjoy the magic of Rotary. Meeting